everybody? Welcome back to the Murph and Vish podcast. I'm here with my better half, the one, the only, Murphiano. How we doing today, Murph?
Hello, Vishy. How are you, mate? I missed you.
I know it's been a while, you know. I know we filmed last week, but it still feels like it's been a lot longer than that.
It
A
definitely
lot, has,
does.
lot has happened. I feel like in this last week and a half, it's been busy
Oh,
and
yeah.
crazy, but it's good.
Good to be busy, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's good to be busy, but I'm glad we could take some time, not be as busy, so we can do our podcast. Excited about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So today, chat, we are gonna talk about cartoons. Kind of some of our favorite childhood cartoons, current cartoons. We're gonna talk about different stuff, but you know what we have to do first, chat. You already know. We gotta do Wordle. We got a little surprise for you guys after our Wordle. So, Murph, what is our 5-letter word for today?
I'm thinking soggy.
There's an O.
Soggy.
Huh? Oh, I spelled it
Hmm.
wrong. We got an O somewhere.
Dang it, that was a really bad one, huh? Um. Oh.
Um,
There's a O somewhere.
oh no, 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 no. Sorry, I was gonna say cardio. Thinking I was. Um,
We could try to look to try and see if there's a double O anywhere, or try to see if the O is in the next spot. Well, I think that's a bad idea.
yeah. Oh, how about? I know, no, we already did a Y. I was gonna say money, but that's 2 letters in 2 spots, so we're not helping ourselves.
Hmm.
Oh, how about the depot?
Ooh, there you go.
So there's an O and there's an E. So I'm guessing it's probably something EO.
The E isn't there, so
I'm guessing it ends EO.
poems.
But that puts the O in the spot we already know an O can't be.
Ah, dang it, that's right. Podal. That's still missed.
Um,
Dang it, it can't be Legos either.
um,
EO is so difficult because, like,
yeah.
uh,
Well, let's see. What's other. Just try and, I guess, maybe take this guess to get more information, some more letters.
right, do it.
Um, Airs? No, we already do. No, there's no S. Um,
This is weird. Maybe we could try Hydro to see where the if the O is at the end or not.
Yeah, but I would say let's try and use some other letters then if we can.
Because we haven't used H. We did use D. We haven't used R. Hmm. Oh. Oh, never mind. That makes no sense.
Um,
Hmm.
oh, God,
We got to do one word.
I know.
We got to do.
We'll do. Okay, the O is not at the end.
Damn. What the?
So it's
Olive. Olive.
oh, that's a good one. Okay, so the E's not the end. So the E's somewhere in the second or third. So it's O.
Something. What the?
Uh,
What word is this? How do I have some paper near me? What the? There we go.
oh, I was gonna say omelet, but
So it's O
I'm
some.
can't be omelet. Maybe something A E. So O something. Oh, I don't know. This one's stumping me really bad.
Okay, so hold on. Let me do this one right.
Um, O Z.
Offer.
Offer.
Yeah, OFFER.
Hey. Nope. So the
Damn
E's
it.
in the middle. So it's there's no F, so it's
Holy shit.
O. That
Something. E. Something something.
God, I don't know.
We can't lose our streak.
I know.
Um.
I still keep going back to omelet, but it's not omelet. um, I feel like this is gonna be some weird ass word.
I feel the same. Starts with O. Finally figured out E is the third letter. So O something E something something. Could it be onyx? Oneyx, but I don't think so. We don't have that many guesses left.
I don't know. This one's really screwing with me.
I mean, Owens would work, but I don't think it would be a name. Ocean. OCE. Oh no, never mind. It can't be Ocean.
Why? OCEAN. We haven't used A and C. We know the E's in the middle.
Fuck it, full sended Vish.
Gosh damn. Oh god, that one. I don't know why my brain was not working on that one.
Oh, let's go! Jesus
But we got
Christ.
That was a
Holy
chat. Sorry,
hell.
we're a little slow when we come to Wordles, so don't judge us on these.
What the? That one was difficult as hell for no reason.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Ocean, Jesus Christ.
Okay, chat. And as your second one, since we're going to talk cartoons, we're doing a Disney one. So, this can be classic Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Muppets, and more.
Oh, Jesus.
So, again, it's just the normal same one. O is in the wrong... Like, it'll give you orange if it's in the wrong spot. E if it's in the right.
Mickey Earl.
Well...
Let's get her, Viciosis.
Who should be our first Disney character?
Let's try Epcot. EPCOT.
Well, there's a T at the end.
Okay, okay.
And there's an O somewhere. Gosh, I'm... Why am I just blanking on Disney names right now?
Yeah, I can't think of any either. That end with a T but have a O somewhere.
And I gotta think 5. Like, I'm thinking, like, one's like Boba Fett. Like, I'm like thinking Star Wars, but I'm like...
What's his name? Gasset? The villain, the big buff guy with the red shirt.
On what movie?
I think it's Cinderella.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Gasto. I think GAS. Oh, never mind. Well, I mean, we could try that one though, just to see if there's an A or a S or. Oh well, the O is in the same spot. We know the O isn't there.
Frost.
Is Gusto? Oh, never mind. The T is a T.
OST. It's something OST.
Okay.
Lost.
Oh, it's OST.
Yeah.
Not Frost.
What? God, I'm blanking on freaking Disney characters.
Maui. Moana. Frost was such a good guess.
Uh,
Ghost. Ghost. Maybe. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't think that's a Disney character though, but I mean it's a word. Vicioso.
Let's
Oscar.
go!
Gopped. Let's
You got it.
get him out of my brain.
He's just too good, chat. He's just
Woo!
good.
And you know what, Vicious? I've been playing variations of Wordle in my free time to try and get better at these, and all of my training went out the window when it came down time to perform.
That's always how it happens. You're like, I'm ready for this, and then every word that you've ever thought of in your life just goes away. Like, huh.
My God, it doesn't make any sense.
But okay, chat. So we
Holy
are
moly.
talking cartoons today. You know, a lot of us grew up watching cartoons. I mean, personally, I still watch a lot of cartoons.
Same.
You know, they're good. I like going back and watching some of those old cartoons too that you watched all the time. They're just something about them. Like, you know what's coming, but you still love it. So Murph, kind of, we're gonna start kind of from like young Murph here. Young Murph, what cartoons was young Murph watching?
So I'll give you 5 cartoons that young Murph would consistently watch. So before school, because the bus used to get there at 7:20, and my apartment was like kind of up the hill, but like not up the hill. So it was like maybe like a 2 to 3 minute walk to the bus stop. Especially when I was very young. So I would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, get myself a fat bowl of cereal, sit down and watch a couple episodes of SpongeBob. Then when 7:15 hit, I would start walking just to stand around and chit chat with the homies at the bus stop. Another one that I used to watch all the time when I got home was either Timmy Turner or Jimmy Neutron, depending on which one they decided to air first, because I remember they used to go 2 episodes of one and then 2 episodes of another. Danny Phantom and Billy and Mandy came on around like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and then I know Adult Swim started at like 10, something like that. And it's another one, man. Those are like my top 4, and I still watch all 4 of those to this day. SpongeBob, Jimmy Neutron, Timmy Turner, Fairly Odd Parents, and Danny Phantom. What's the 5th one? Now I can't even think of any other cartoon names. Camp Lazlo. I loved Camp Lazlo.
Okay. Never got into Camp Lazlo. I never really watched it, I guess. Never kind of like intrigued me.
It was just the goofy aspect of it, and I loved it so much because I remember on one of the websites, I think it was Nickelodeon.com, you could play a Camp Lazlo game.
Okay.
And so before I even got into the show, I would play that game all the time on my mom's laptop. And then I was like, maybe I should watch this show. So then I ended up watching that show. It was pretty good, honestly.
Okay.
What about you, Viciosis? What are your top that young Vicious used to watch?
Young Vicious. Well, I don't know. Some of these I don't know if I consider super young or if I'm just considering these more like, kind of like high school. But, I'm going to date myself with some of these. But one of them, Recess.
Oh, Recess was so good.
Dun, 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 dun. Recess. Was a great one. Bunch of shows, bunch of some movies there. Great show. Rocket Power.
Oh my God! You're naming all the
classic.
What the? I forgot about these.
I'm locking Murph's memory here, chat. Okay. Going another old school. Ed, and Eddie.
What the? Should have let you go first.
Uh, Ed, ooh. Such a great show. It was so stupid, but such a great show.
100% agreed.
Ed, and Eddie. I would say SpongeBob was another consistent one. Watching SpongeBob in the early mornings or just even coming back from school. And it's crazy now watching some of these episodes. I'm like, I don't. What is this episode? And like, oh yeah, this is from new. Like it aired in like 2019, 2020. You're like, excuse me.
And
There was still
you
SpongeBob going on.
and you remember with SpongeBob when you used to watch it on TV, you could tell if it was a new episode or an old episode by the
Oh
graphics.
yeah.
That was so funny. Oh, I love that.
I'm gonna give two more, just because I feel like these kind of both intermingle, but like Scooby Doo, all the different Scooby Doo ones, whether that was the What's Up Scooby Doo or the
Scooby
Young
Doo.
Scooby Doo, whatever. I can't think of what the Young Scooby Doo show was called off the top of my
I
head, but just the Scooby
remember.
Doos in general, just watching that, watching them solve mysteries. Great show. And then if I had to probably pick another one, the Spider-Man, the animated Spider-Man movies or cartoons were really good. I absolutely love those. Um, but yeah, I love those ones. The Spider-Man. I'm actually been trying. I haven't got all the way through, but I've kind of slowly been watching the old school Spider-Mans over again. So been really enjoying it. It's kind of fun to watch and see the differences between cartoons then and now.
Right.
Now, Murph, we're gonna switch
Uh,
it up. What were you doing? Kind of like high school, high school type Murph. What was high school around that area? Maybe middle school, high school. Which movies, shows were you watching?
um, like cartoon shows, I think, because Disney Plus and Paramount was not out when I was in high school, and cable became kind of irrelevant. Who used cable because Netflix and Hulu and things like that started coming out. I don't think Hulu was out then, but I know Netflix was. Um, they didn't really have many cartoons on Netflix, to be honest. It was just Netflix series, movies, scary movies, things like that. Um, Middle school Murph though would still try to catch some SpongeBob in the mornings because I remember back in the day they used to still air that out on cable. In high school and middle school, I used to watch a lot of NFL Network because I was really big into sports. Um, but back in that day, I used to just watch a lot of SpongeBob, and then oh, what's that show called with the little guy with the triangle head and he had red eyes. I can't think of the name of that show, but
The only triangle head person I can think of is Phineas and Ferb.
oh yeah, Phineas and Ferb. That's another good one. I didn't know if that counted. Well, it does technically count as a cartoon.
Yeah.
A lot of the cartoons are just eluding my brain at the moment because I don't know.
Triangle head, red eyes. I
I
can't
mean,
think of what that triangle head with red eyes would be.
I can't even. Well, I know movies. I don't know if it counts as a cartoon, but it's animated. Monsters Inc.
I would.
You know,
That's a cartoon. That's a
is it?
cartoon.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
We can talk movies, shows. We're talking all cartoons. So.
Okay. And I remember they had the cat dog on Netflix back in the day for like a hot minute.
Dog.
I used to watch Cat Dog, Courage the Cowardly Dog, The Incredibles. I've seen that a bunch of times, and I know as soon as Moana came out, I genuinely, I'll sit down sometimes, Vicious, and I know I've seen Moana 6 times this week, and I'll sit down and rewatch it again because I just love that movie so much. And the original Incredibles, oh my god, top tier movies.
Yeah, I agree.
What about you, Vicioso?
For me, kind of high school and stuff like that. I was still kind of watching some of those that would air once in a while. Ed, Ed, and Eddie, Rocket Power, Recess. Those didn't air as much just because they were so much older. Um,
Right.
but around kind of like high school, middle school, like more Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents, because that was kind of more when those were coming out.
Yeah.
around that time of kind of like my middle school, high school. That's when those ones were kind of dropping more. But then I started kind of getting to more of like the adult cartoons.
Uh-huh.
So like the South Park, Family Guy, Simpsons. I kind of started watching those. Because they made a lot more sense, and their humor kind of actually got with you because you understood what they were talking about, compared to a kid where that stuff they say a joke and you just are like ha ha ha, but you don't understand the joke, type things. Um, but also Star Wars Clone Wars series that had started coming out. I mean, I kind of watched that later, but still that was kind of around that time. And I absolutely love the Star Wars Clone Wars. It's a pretty cool thing.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's kind of what I watched around that middle school. But now, Murph, now we're kicking it. What are we watching currently? What cartoons, animated movies, whatever? What are we watching currently?
So currently, I am rewatching Danny Phantom.
Okay.
Um, Vegito made an amazing shout of what is it, Kids Next Door. So I think I'm gonna start that series up again. I'll always find I don't watch SpongeBob anymore like that, especially even though I can access it and watch every single episode. Um, I don't know. I just can't find the interest anymore. Like there was just something magical about waking up. It's something special about waking up and you know just turning on the TV, knowing that on Nickelodeon at 7 a.m. they were gonna freaking show SpongeBob. And then I remember I was so dedicated to catching SpongeBob episodes in the morning that the night before, if you had Comcast, you could roll through that entire day's broadcast. So I would go through the whole broadcast until the morning and see what time they were going to air what shows. Um, I again, like I said, Moana, The Incredibles. Another one I watch a lot of still is Jimmy Neutron. Fairly Odd Parents was good. This debate will go on till the end of time, But for me, Jimmy Neutron with Sheen, I think Jimmy Neutron's additional support characters, if you will, were much better than the characters in Timmy Turner, in my opinion. Vicky was cool and all, and so was what's his name, Chet, the teenage kid, the singer.
Chip Skylark.
Chip Skylark, that's his name. Like those were like kind of and Jorgen von Strangle, like those were cool and all. But when you watch Sheen and Carl go at it with Jimmy and Cindy, oh my gosh, it's just comedic gold, honestly. Especially the Mega Brain episode with Sheen. I just watched that one yesterday, honestly, and I rewatched it twice that same day because me, I'm the type vicious that when I sit down to eat food or whatever, I like to watch something.
I
I'm
agree.
an iPad baby like that, so I'll sit down and I'll watch an episode of Danny Phantom, some Jimmy Neutron. When they had the intergalactic race, oh my god, I loved that one.
This one's just
Another
for
one.
Vegito since he's here. Jimmy's mom.
Yeah, Jimmy, why is your mom in the window baking pie? I
Oh,
got you, Vicious. I
oh,
got you.
it's
Yeah, I
a
think that's about it. That's really all that's in my catalog right now, to be honest. I'm just working on those. And like I said, Vegito made a shout with Kids Next Door, so I'm definitely going to start that today again.
okay.
What about you, Vicious? What has Vicious recently been watching cartoon wise?
Uh, so cartoon wise, I'll say Clone Wars. I kind of went back, kind of watching the Clone Wars just recently. It was a good show. Like I said, I like that one. Like I said, I've been going back through kind of some of the Spider-Man animated ones slowly. Kind of been watching some of that. Um, I enjoy. It's called Bad Batch. It is like a offshoot or kind of like a subplot to the Clone Wars. It's
Uh huh.
basically about some of the clones that are kind of defected and they have their own little thing. So they just finished season 2. I think they're supposed to drop a season 3, to my knowledge. Um,
Okay.
but that was a good one. I've kind of been watching too, like the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I know that's
Right.
a kind of different cartoon, but that cartoon I do really love. Um, watching those, it's the animated. It's kind of more comic booky animation style. So I
Uh,
enjoy kind of watching that and seeing the animation of that happen. Um, I mean, like I said, I kind of go through and still watch kind of South Park, Family Guy, Simpsons every here and there, if they're on the TV. But just cartoons, I just kind of, I guess another one is What If. It's a Marvel series, animated one. They actually are coming out with season 2, I think, at the end of this year or the start of next year. But it's like different scenarios, like what if someone else this happened, or what if that happened. Like the first episode, they start, what if Steve Rogers, Captain America, didn't take the serum, but Peggy Carter took it instead. So it's
right.
kind of cool to see like the different realities, and it's a really good kind of thing. But
Okay. Okay.
so looking forward for season 2.
All right. All right.
So Murph, kind of what is your favorite part of cartoons? I know there's so much different stuff going on in cartoons. There's so much variety, but kind of what's your favorite part of like the cartoons itself?
I think especially as of recently, as a kid, it was just kind of entertainment. You know, I could remember myself getting off of the PlayStation to go watch like Danny Phantom or Camp Lazlo or all those other classics. But especially as an adult now, I think it's more of like a soothing thing. It reminds me of the good old days, kind of. Especially certain cartoons like Jimmy Neutron, because that was one of my favorites. Or Danny Phantom. I know I keep saying those, but that's because those two were like of my top 5 of all time. And it's just kind of like a little soothing thing where I'll sit down and it's like a little time warp. It's like for 25 minutes of your life, you're not living in that exact moment that you're sitting there eating food. In your head, subconsciously, you're that little kid with your bowl of cereal. Even though now all I eat is 96 ground beef and freaking protein pasta, but in my head, it changes into that big bowl of cereal that I'm sitting there on the floor, crisscross applesauce at like 42 pounds, just staring at this TV with the fattest back I've ever seen on a TV that takes an entire platoon to carry up a flight of stairs. So for me, it's like that's kind of like, how do I say it? It's like a comfort show, like Star Wars said. It takes me back to the good old days, and I kind of forget about everything that's going on in life. And in that moment, I'm just trapped in Jimmy Neutron, Danny Phantom, Camp Lazlo, SpongeBob, or Ed, Ed and Eddie, Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends, things of those things. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it is for me. That's why I have, I appreciate cartoons so much. What about you, Viciosus? Talk to me, Big Daddy.
I'm kind of very similar. You're kind of getting trapped in it. I think as a kid, you like it. I like it. Because all the movement, the colors, all that stuff. The things you get normally as a kid. You get into all that different things of, oh yeah, I like this because of this reason. I like that. Or that guy's cool because his costume's so cool.
Right.
I think that's kind of my favorite. But recently I've never really thought about this until I've kind of watched kind of some more of the like breakdowns of different things. But like thinking about anime, like you can do so much with animation. You can take the wildest dream you have and make it a show. Because all you're doing is drawing it. As long as you can draw it or it can be animated, you can do it. There's
Yep.
certain ideas, with TV or stuff like that, like, you can't really do, or it's going to cost a lot in special effects, something like that, to do some, simple thing. Whereas, you have this wild idea, it has wild characters, a lot of characters and stuff like that. You can afford to draw those characters and have all of them there, and you just have to get, some voice actors. Where comparatively, like on show, like if you were trying to do, like the Marvel, they do their Avengers movie, they do it every once in a while. Well, if you have to pay all these big budget actors to come and be in your movie, it's definitely more difficult. So I think that's another kind of cool thing about the cartoon is you can have those wacky ideas that might not be able in real life yet to be produced, but you can still do them because it's a cartoon.
Right.
All you have to do is draw or animate it, and it's it's an idea that can be done. So I think
I
that's kind
agree.
of why I like like favorite parts of cartoons too is just you can kind of go outside the box. Sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's like, okay, this is a little over the top. But
Yeah.
I think it's that, and then it's just that dry humor, stuff that shouldn't be funny, but you just are dying laughing for them because it's like, what am I watching? Like, this is so stupid, but yet you're just so intrigued.
I agree, Vicioso.
Okay, Murph. Now I got a good question for you.
Uh,
What would be your dream collab?
Ooh.
We do talked about Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron. Those two collabed and did a big episode. If you were to pick two cartoons that you watch, they can be completely opposite. What would be your dream collab?
Huh. I think I'd have to go Danny Phantom in Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends. I feel like that would be such an interesting collab because they're two such like different worlds, and I could imagine Blue helping Danny Phantom beat up ghosts and stuff, or Wilt helping Danny Phantom. You know what I'm saying? There would be just so many different little intricacies that would be so cool for the creators and people to play around with and make that show just something completely different. And like they did that Timmy Turner and Jimmy Neutron collab series. It wasn't even an episode. They made like I remember they made a movie off of it. They made a whole series off of it because it's such a success when you do those type of things. You bring two worlds together and you bring two different viewer groups together, and it makes it so special. And even now, Vicious, I'm 25. I used to watch cartoons over a decade ago consistently like this, and I still remember those things. So I think a lot of these creators, they realize that this is going to have a generational effect. If I do ever have kids, you best believe I'm showing that little man that freaking collab episode. First, we're going to sit through and watch both shows, and then I'm going to show you that collab episode. Just so you fully understand the whole, what's the word, the magnitude of that collab. But I think Danny Phantom and Foster Some of Imaginary Friends would be so polar opposites that it would make an amazing collab. That's just my opinion personally. That's just how I think.
Okay.
What about you, Vicious? What's your dream collab or cartoon collab?
I'm thinking of collabs too. There was the Family Guy Simpsons crossover. They had done that before. That was a pretty cool collab as well. Just thinking of collabs. Um, I just kind of growing up with these three shows. I think Recess, Rocket Power, and Ed, Edd n Eddy doing like a three-way crossover would freaking be
That'd be
dope.
crazy.
Like, I feel like all the characters are fairly similar, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
in all those shows. You got like kind of the dumb, I wouldn't say dumb, but dumb ones, or not the smart ones. You got, like the super geniuses, and you have all like the jock, like, or the leader of the group. So I think that'd be kind of cool to see those work together. And then I honestly just kind of because of current stuff, I would love to see like a Marvel and Star Wars crossover. I know it will never happen, and I know they're completely different things, but I think that would be like a very cool, interesting thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Jedi versus Marvel, like who would win?
Right.
They have their superpowers. The Jedi have like their, all their force abilities and stuff like that. I think it would be kind of a cool little collab. Definitely be kind of a cool, interesting thing. I'd be interested in watching.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I could see that being a really cool crossover episode.
Trying to, well, it looks like we're kind of getting closer towards the end. So, chat, start putting some questions in if you have any questions for us about cartoons. We'd love to answer those for you guys. But, Murph, what is your question today? You always have your question. What is your question for today?
If you had to spend the rest of your life in a show, which cartoon show would you spend the rest of your life in, and why?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Is there?
Thinking of all the kind of cartoons I talked about and stuff. Honestly, I would probably
Mm-hmm.
go Recess. Thinking about more, I think I would go Recess. You know, as a kid, you know, you love that. Like, I guess I'm saying I'm not, you know, I'm saying kind of my age, like in the cartoon. You know, I die when I'm 90, but I still walk and act like I'm, you know, same age as them. But Recess, you know, because there's all the adventures, you know, as a kid you could do through Recess. Just kind of takes you back into those childhood, so it'd be kind of cool just to relive that kind of every day of new adventure, new thing like that.
Right. Okay.
But how about you, Murph? What would be yours?
See, for me, it's kind of it's I'm stuck between two shows, and I'll explain why. I would love to be in Kids Next Door, the adventure aspect, or just becoming like they give me a number and I got a weird haircut and I got a fat ass head and a little nose and little ears and my hair is covering my eyes, or like just to first of all just see what my shape would be, and then just the adventures they go on, and they're just so cool, man. They're so cool to me. Even as a kid, I was like, damn, I wish I could be a part of that. That would be so dope. And then I think the second one for me would definitely have to be Jimmy Neutron, because the different things that happen every single day, that kid comes up with something crazy. He developed a gum, I think it was called like brain gum or something, and they had that robot, and then he's got his little rocket. Yeah, and Goddard's a wild man, and just to hang out with Sheen and Carl and Cindy. Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun just to see the type of new shit Jimmy comes up with every single day. And now I get to tag along with all these little crazy things that this kid likes to do with his friend group. That would be so much fun.
I don't know. Those are good ones. I've never, don't really know the Kids Next Door. I don't remember that one as much. So, but yeah, Jimmy Neutron would definitely be a cool one too.
Jimmy Neutron would be cool.
Definitely, definitely. And also because of Jimmy's mom.
Jimmy, your mom is kind of hot.
Oh, such a great. Well, chat, looks like we're gonna kind of wrap up this episode. It's gonna be a little bit shorter, but before we go off with you guys, I just wanted to remind you about our merch store. If anyone's interested, streamlabs.com/Murph and Fish/merch. You can check out our merch if anyone's interested. We got things for all people, all different things. So if you're interested in that, feel free to take a look at that. We would love to see you guys in the Murph and Fish merch. But it doesn't look like we have any questions. Vegito, Frog, Goo, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Appreciate everyone that's maybe here that's lurking, as well as watching us on YouTube. As a reminder, these always get posted to YouTube the next day, so if you missed part of it, you can always check us out on our YouTube channel. But we appreciate everyone that tuned in as always, and we'll catch you guys later.